Plaintiff Pamela Williams is suing her brother, Charles Johnson, for an unpaid loan. Pamela says Charles is a womanizer and an alcoholic, and she has witnessed his bad behavior toward women. Charles claims his sister is a busybody and believes she schemed with his ex to have his son taken away. He's countersuing for emotional distress.
Okay, Pamela Williams is suing her brother for unpaid loans, and Charles Johnson is countersuing for services rendered and emotional distress. All right, Pamela.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to begin by saying that I love my brother very much, and I'm sorry it had to come to this, but I certainly can't afford the debt that I've been sued because of it.
Okay.
My brother is a womanizer and an alcoholic. He has 4 different children by 4 different women. During some of his alcoholic bouts, I've been on the phone and been privy to his verbal abuse to his girlfriends.
Are you verbally abusive, Charles?
No, not at all, Your Honor.
So
I'm not even sure where all this is coming from. About,
So you deny
drinking.
that? No
Yes.
verbal abuse?
No, no verbal abuse, anything like that.
I've also heard when things got escalated to a certain degree, furniture crashing and bashing in the background.
What do you mean in the background?
I would be on the phone with the young lady. She would call me to tell me.
Did the young lady ever call the police? Have you ever been arrested?
No.
So you haven't been convicted of anything?
No.
Did you ever tell the young lady that you were on the phone with at the time that you heard the crashing in the background to call the police?
I tell her to call 911.
Yeah, well, did you call 911 for the girl if you were worried about her?
She was in another state.
I don't care. Why wouldn't you call the police in that state if you were worried about her?
I didn't know what state they were in. I just know that they were not in California.
You're talking to his girlfriend,
Right.
and you don't
She
know where
called
they're
me,
living.
right.
And she's sharing with you that your brother's
He's
being
in the
abusive
house
with her.
right
You don't
now.
know where she
Get
is.
off the phone,
Okay.
call 911.
Okay.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
After his divorce in February 2007, he wanted to really stay in touch with the son, the last son that he had, and he wanted him to live with him so that during graduation, he could graduate from the property that he was in. He and his ex-wife shared the bills. When the ex moved out, he was unable to carry on with the bills, but he did not want to leave the premises. He wanted to stay there. So he asked me to help on a month-to-month basis.
And how would you help?
Just filling in the money monthly.
That's the basis of the loan? Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly.
All right. Did you get a loan from your sister?
Well, Your Honor, I've received some monies from her, but I don't remember it being a loan.
Did you get something in writing?
No, he gave me a verbal agreement that he would pay me back when this child graduated in June, and he moved to a cheaper place.
How much did you loan him?
Monthly, it would come to different amounts. The total was $6,475.
$6,475. And where was your brother working at the time?
Orange County Transit Authority.
Okay, so he works at Orange County Transit Authority. And for how long a period of time are you loaning him money?
Until graduation. Started in February 2007 until June 2008.
Okay.
But something transpired, so
What transpired?
I came to give a check to him, and I walked in on my nephew and his mother, and they were in a confrontation with my brother in regards to him bringing women to the house. And
No, that's not true.
Yeah, so what's the point of that?
My nephew didn't want to stay there anymore. He wanted to move. So he had been discussing with his mother.
So you're going over to your brother's place to give him more money so that he could stay in the place where his son had initially gone to school, even though his wife had divorced him.
Right.
You wanted to keep your son in that school district? Is that what I'm hearing? Is that a yes or no?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. So you walk in on them and out of the blue just to give him money.
No, he had asked. That was the month. He had, he needed 100 that month.
That's
Okay.
not
So
true.
I was in town already.
All right. Go ahead. Talk to me, Charles.
Yeah, but she said, well, first of all, Your Honor, my sister is a busybody. She's always in everybody's business. As you can see, she said she was talking, even when I was having a little argument with my girlfriend this was in Boston, she was once again involved in my business. She's a very controlling person. She runs her house like a boot camp. She has 8 foster kids, and she runs it like a boot camp. In other words, she rings a bell for them to come eat. She actually physically like a cowbell. They don't be there on time. They don't eat.
Is that true?
I ring a bell, but they eat. I don't want to yell. It's a big house.
Yeah, if they do something wrong, they get sent to the garage to sleep overnight.
Wow. Tell me that's not true.
That's not true.
Yeah, that is
make
true.
sure that's not true.
No, that's true.
How do you know that?
Because I'm always over there helping her.
Let me ask you a question,
Would you
Charles. If you know that to be true, why wouldn't you call Child Protective Services if she's a foster mother and she's making kids sleep in the garage and you know it?
Because she's a good parent, but she I mean, it's nothing wrong with the garage. The garage
Yes, there is.
The garage is fixed up. It's a nice garage, but I'm just saying how she controls everything. She just controls everything.
How old are these kids who are in foster care?
Well, now they're almost 18. So I think
You
my
make the
youngest
kids sleep
nephew
in the
is 8.
garage?
No, ma'am.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure. They are 20, 21. They're adults now, and we could get them here.
Yeah, so, in other words, she's a very controlling person.
All right, I got it. She's
And a
controlling.
particular day, she says she happened to show up when I'm having an argument with my ex about him staying at my house. It was a heck of a coincidence that she showed up
All
at
right,
the
so
very
she's a
same minute.
busybody. I'll take judicial notice of the fact she's a busybody. Okay? Do you owe her the money?
Well, I don't think I do because, whenever I go to her house, I'm always mowing the lawn. I fixed her sprinkler
Never
system.
asked you. You broke it.
No, the kids broke it. I fixed the sprinkler system. I fixed tile in her room, in her house, and she never pays me anything.
Well, let me ask you a question. Why don't you say to her, sis, isn't this coming off of the money that I owe you?
Well, I thought it was understood. She's still my sister. She gives me a little money every now and then.
She says she gave you $6,400 worth of money now and then.
Well, I'm just saying. But I think I worked most of that off.
Is that a yes?
Well, I don't know. I don't think it was quite that much. I don't think it was that much.
It was that much, Your Honor.
So, I'm just saying.
All right, so what are you saying? She has a honing device on you and she knows when you're fighting with your ex-wife?
No.
What was that all
I'm
about?
going to tell you what happened. What
Tell me what
is
happened.
that her and my son, what they do is they have these little conversations she never tells me about. So she's involved in somebody's business and she's speaking to my son and they're talking and then all of a sudden, they got this little scheme together and now my son's been taken out the house.
Why is your son not in the house?
I don't know why my son has been taken out the house.
How old is he?
He's 18 now.
And then all of a sudden they pull him out of school?
That's right. Him and my ex, they scheming once again. I don't know. I don't know what the problem was.
But you were living with your son. Did you have a girl coming in now and then that your son didn't like?
Well, no. I have my
don't
friends
care. You're divorced.
I have my friends come by, but that ain't had anything to do. He's still.
That's what she's saying.
He's still being clothed. He's still eating. He's not missing school.
Yes, then. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you walk in the middle of this fight?
I just rang the doorbell.
And what do you see?
I actually heard the fussing through the door.
Mm-hmm.
The door wasn't all the way closed, so I came in, and that's when my nephew's mother was declaring, "My son is uncomfortable here. You're bringing these women in. You're supposed to be making sure that he has enough rest at night. If you're bringing them in and he's waking up and he can't get his sleep, I don't want him here."
So why didn't you take him in with a bunch of kids you already had?
Well, like I said, because he wanted to stay in that school district, and I'm 75 miles away.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
75 miles away, Your Honor, and she happened to show up at the same minute, the same hour that we're having an argument. 75 miles away.
I was in town
She's got
that
a honing
day.
device on you, I'm
75
telling
miles
you.
away.
That's why I said I was in town that day, and so I decided to just go ahead and bring it by.
How
the
are you
same minute.
supposed to pay her back this money she loaned you?
It wasn't a loan. I thought
was it a gift?
Just by doing the lawn and doing work around the house, that's how I was figuring I was going to pay her back.
$6,400 worth of mowing the lawn? How big a property do you have?
Well, ma'am, my gardener does the lawn, and it's only he is $40 a month. He comes every other week. The problem is the lawn had gotten long that day that he came by, so he asked.
You want to say anything else?
No, I'm just saying. I worked most of this off. Like I said, I did several things. Sometimes I don't even tell her some of the work I do. Sometimes I do a little painting.
You drive 75 miles and don't tell her about the work you do?
No, because I visit a lot. Because
Why
even though
you visiting her?
Because even though she has other kids
Holidays.
as well, and the foster kids, I consider them like my nephews.
When he did repairs at your house, did you have any kind of agreement?
I think he was appreciative that I was helping him. So he would come in and help me. Never
so how
said
much do
this
you
is going to
think
be
his
money.
repairs were worth?
The amount that he did?
Yeah.
Okay, since he broke that one, and I went to the store and got the head and he put it on. I had the towels already. I bought the glue. He just put the spackle in and put it in. He put a ball on the toilet. that I had already bought. Okay, so if we're talking about labor.
All right, and you're suing her for emotional distress.
Right, yeah, because she's always in my business. I can't do anything without her calling.
Sometimes, Charles, that's the price that you pay for taking money from people. They want to be a part of your life and in your business, okay? I'm not saying she is or she isn't. But you know what? If you don't want her in your life and in your business, don't take money from her. That's the first thing. How much work did he do, you think, that can be credited against the money?
Oh, $15.
It cost me more than that in gas. I live 75 miles away from her.
I know you live 75 miles, but you just said you went to see the kids and you consider your nephews. You've known them since they were babies.
Every time I go there, she says,
yes. Okay, here's the bottom line. You say $6,400. He can't give me a figure as to what it is. How much do you think she loaned you?
I don't know.
Neither one of you. I mean, did you know you were coming to court today?
I have all the canceled checks. I mean, I know exactly.
You do have the canceled checks?
Yes.
Uh-oh,
I'm not
Charles.
saying I didn't say she never gave me the money. I just said I worked them off. I just said I worked them off. I didn't say she didn't give me the money.
She gave you a lot of money. Charles.
Yeah, well.
Charles.
I'm not saying I never said that, Your Honor.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you. I think every time she handed me the money.
Good for you. You just won $5,000 from plaintiff.